My 2020 YouTube Hall of Fame ballot. Yes, I did. Coming up. Hello again, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, my name is Troy Rutter, aka TTM Troy, and this is a rare video for you today because I'm not sure everybody knows, but for the last couple of years, there has been a YouTube Hall of Fame for the card community, and basically there's about 10 people inducted every year, so there's been 20 people inducted so far, and it's run by Mike, aka Baseball Collector, and you can find a link to his channel and all the channels that I mentioned in today's video down below. And this is kind of a difficult video for me to make. Now I want to just tell you guys straight up some things that I don't normally participate in contests or video replies and stuff like that. And it's not that I don't want to be a member of the community, but there's a couple reasons for that. And I actually shot a video on this 2 or 3 years ago, and I never released it. It's called We Need to Talk About the Community or something like that. And it's still in my unpublished videos because it's like, if I publish that, then all hell would break loose, to be honest with you. But one of the reasons I don't really participate or run my own contests or whatever, we'll just take those in order. So the reason I don't participate is not that I don't want to support these channels that do contests or giveaways or stuff like that. The reason is very simple, is that I do TTMs, and I don't have a massive baseball card or football card or sports card collection. Pretty much everything that I collect, that I get in, is intended to be used for sending out through the mail autographs. And so I don't collect the Gem Mint 10s, except for the Cal Ripken that I pulled and had slabbed, and I don't really slab things. And so the second reason is that I want other people who might be more excited to get that stuff to have the opportunity to receive that. And I know there's like a middle ground there somewhere where I could participate in the contest, but then say I don't want to win, and then they just skip over me. And I guess I could do that, but I don't. And also is, like I said, I don't really collect cards in mass, and that's because I'm kind of a minimalist. I tend to, since I moved back and forth across the country so many times, I tend to like what I have and try to pare stuff down every now and then. There was a time where I just said I am either sending or giving away every card that I have, and that was like in 2014, I think. And so my box got smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it ballooned again. So that's kind of why I don't participate in giveaways or video responses or stuff like that. And hopefully you guys can appreciate that. I'm just being honest. It's not that I don't want to participate. It's just that I don't want to win. I'd rather that go to someone who really enjoys it. So this YouTube Hall of Fame thing, it gets a lot of flack every year. One thing that it does do is get out the word of some of these channels. And I'm not going to lie to you, some of the channels that I talk about today in this nomination video are people who might be surprised that they're actually on my list. And I'll try to give some reasonings behind that. Some of them I'll just list the name, because I don't want this to be a big long video. After Triple Crown 24's video, no video is going to live up to that. So I just wanted to get the nominations out there, and we'll just start off with the number one pick for me, and that is Zombie Collector, aka Jason, with his Deep Thoughts. Now, Jason, he has been a force in the community the past year and a half, I guess. He tells it like it is, or what his opinion is, and that's awesome. But more than that, he told me when he came into YouTube that he was going to binge watch every video that I had made starting back in 2012, and I was like, yeah, right. But sure enough, he did. I don't know how he did that. I would go kind of crazy watching all the videos that I've done over the years, especially the early ones that are poor production value. But Jason, more than I think any other TTMer, except for our Autographers Anonymous group, he has reached out to me more than anybody else, and he actually will call or text just to see how things are going, and I think that is pretty cool. And he does a lot of card stuff. Some people might say, oh, he's buying slabs for $1, and I think there's real value there. He's showing some of the stuff that you can get that you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on, and he enjoys the Japan players, which is why I've sent him all of my all the ones that I tend to get in. And Jason, thumbs up. He's just a great guy, and he is more of a card person than a TTMer, and he definitely fits the bill and criteria for the YouTube Hall of Fame. So, number 1, Zombie Collector. Number 2, Dustin and Blake. Now, these guys need no introduction. You see Blake on camera more often, and I gotta tell you, whenever there's a care package or something that comes in, just seeing Blake at the table, like ready to dive in, that's so fun. And they have a lot of fun together, opening packs, opening care packages, sending care packages. Still trying to coordinate with him on a visit up to Minnesota, but there was a big snowstorm this past weekend, so this weekend's out. But Dustin and Blake, they have a lot of fun, a great father-son duo, and definitely deserving of a nomination to the Hall of Fame. Next we have Triple Crown 24, JT. Now, I gotta tell you this story. I told you this once before. When I went to the Nationals, and pretty much I was expecting to be disappointed, to be honest, and we can talk about that at the end of the video, but one of the people that I really wanted to meet and hang out with was Pepino Man. We had been, he came out, he's been a force in the community for the last year and a half, and I was like, oh, Caesar's going to be there. I definitely want to meet him. And so when I first walked in the Nationals, I'm texting or messaging with Caesar, and and we finally meet up near the entrance, and I'm like, oh, let's get a photo. And JT's like, oh, do you want me to take the photo? And I'm like, no, I want you to be in the photo. So we took this selfie, and if I still can find it, I'll put it in here. And so he has a great channel. He does a lot of stuff for the community. He's now a dealer official with business cards, and no one can really say anything bad about JT. He's a great guy, and looking forward. He did a video about the whole YouTube COPPA, and I didn't agree with a lot of stuff that he said, just because I've dealt with this kind of thing before for Warner Brothers, and I listened to a lot of bigger channels, but it was great to get his perspective on it, and he put himself out there, and I think that's great. So Triple Crown 24 is pick number 3. Number 4 might surprise you, or it might surprise him, and that is Big D for Life. Now, I had the chance to meet him, and basically when I came into the Nationals and I had bought a few boxes of random stuff, and my feet were getting tired, so I went into the VIP room, which was, we could talk about national policies some other time, but I sat down on a table, and, I'm going through stuff, and Eloy was just like, yelled over to me like, Troy, come sit over here. So I ran over there, and that's where I pretty much met Big D for Life. He was sitting there sorting, and over the weekend, we spent a lot of time at that table, and he's a pretty cool guy, and he does great stuff on his channel. So that is my number 4 pick, Big D for Life. Number 5 is MeganTTHobies. Now, Megan is a great TTMer as well as card collector. You can find her videos on YouTube as well as Instagram. She's really, really active on Instagram as well, which, a lot of us that do stuff on YouTube tend to stay on YouTube where we have all of our followers, but she's there, right there in the thick of things on both platforms, and so I really appreciate that. And like some of the other people that I know, if I go 2 or 3 weeks without doing a video, she reaches out and says, hey, what's going on? So check out her channel. She's a great voice in the community, and she deserves a lot more subs than she has. So, MeganTTHobies. Next, we have Chase from Chase and Ink. Now, Chase and I do a lot of the same type of things. In fact, we're doing kind of the same years of TTMing, so we kind of chase each other. If someone gets a return, I try to send it out for the 1991 Don Russ set, and he does player stats and puts them on the screen, and I do player stats and read them, and we just kind of have this synergy, and we've traded care packages a couple times, and he does so many videos, and it's just amazing. Whereas I try to do 4 or 5 autographs in one video, he'll just do one for his one return, and he gets questions and answers from those people that he's sending to. So I think that's really awesome, and he is just definitely Hall of Fame worthy. So Chase and Ink, you get my vote. Next, we have someone from up north. That's Up North Collectors. We don't correspond a lot, but when we do, it's always fun. And we both, whenever I have something that is hockey related, chances are that he'll reply and come in. And I really enjoy seeing the stuff that he's doing on his channel. I don't get to reply on his channel a lot, and I feel really bad about that. But I definitely appreciate the time that he takes to comment. I see his comments all over the community. He's really into replying on people's videos and giving them encouragement, and as well as working on his own channel. So definitely Up North Collectors, you get my vote. Next, we have someone who kind of concentrates on, I believe, UFC trading card collecting and TTMs, and I hope I'm saying this right. DK1, and he has been on YouTube a lot, and he's also on Instagram, and it's just kind of fun to see some returns in the sport that we don't normally see a lot. I kind of found that out when I was doing the hockey returns. There were people that came to my channel as like, I love seeing hockey stuff, and I think he is the same way with UFC and MMA fighters, and he does a great job. He has a great production value and backdrop for his videos, which I know isn't everything, but it's something. It's something that a lot of people, and he puts himself out in front of the camera, which is awesome, and I just want to support him as well. So DK1, you get my vote. All right, number 9 is Steve, Purple GT22. Now, I haven't been watching his channel for a long time, but, I need to go back and do that because he is so amazing. And when I look at the other nominations, what people were nominating, his name was coming up so often. And so I took another look, and, the YouTube algorithm is kind of interesting in how it shows you. Like, if you haven't commented for a long time, it tends not to show you that channel, kind of like Facebook does the same thing. And so I hadn't seen his videos in 2 or 3 months, but I went back and I'm like, yeah, this guy has it. Steve does a great job. No one can say anything bad about Steve, and Purple GT22 is definitely worthy of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. And finally, we have another sports card person that I'm going to nominate here, and he probably has no idea that I'm going to do that. Now, this is tough because I did not nominate a lot of my TTM friends, and that is because I've been trying to keep in the spirit of the Hall of Fame, and specifically this is called the YouTube Sports Collectors Hall of Fame or something like that. And so if your channel has, I put a personal thing on it, 90% cards or even 80% cards, then I kind of, that's who I tend to gravitate to, because that is what this Hall of Fame is about. I started off mainly entertainment from 2012 to 2013 on YouTube doing mainly entertainment. And then in 2013, so the last 7 years, I've been focusing mainly on cards. And so that's kind of what I was basing things on. So if you do a lot of entertainment and less cards or not actual cards, that's kind of where I was going to. But again, this is my last nomination because I can only have 10. If this was a TTM Hall of Fame, then I'd probably have a lot more nominations, but this is the Sports Card Hall of Fame. So I'm going to go with my final vote here for the YouTube Hall of Fame Sports Card Edition, and that would have to be Andy Summers. Now, Andy has been doing this a long time, and he actually went about a year without videos, but he has been doing this either as long or longer than I have, and we kind of bounce things off each other. Andy is a staple in the TTM community. You could always count on Andy to help you out with an address or even care packages and stuff like that. And so definitely have developed a mutual friendship with Andy, and he does a good job. I wish he would do more videos, but we all have lives. He has three kids, 4 kids. So he's always, I'm about to sneeze. There we go. I don't know if that worked or not. So Andy Summers, you are my number 10 pick. So again, I wish that I could nominate more, and I hope you enjoyed some of these channels. Again, I don't normally do this because I don't want to slight anybody, but I do appreciate all the TTM channels out there. If we had our own TTM Hall of Fame, that'd be one thing where we could do entertainment and sports and this, that, and the other thing. But this contest, if it's a contest, I don't know. This nomination process that's been going on, it's basically for the Sports Card YouTube Hall of Fame, whatever. Like I said, that Mike has put together, and with that, you got to play by the rules. So these are channels that feature majority of content sports cards, and definitely appreciate whether you're on the list that I just gave or not. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and this is it's a difficult thing to do because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I figured if this was the time to do one of these community videos, this might be a good chance to highlight some people in that world. And so now the editorial part of this video is, I wish that we could somehow cross over more with the sports card and TTM audiences and communities. When I went to nationals, there were a few people that really stood out to me. Obviously Pepino Man, and like I said, Triple Crown 24. Mike O and Wesker Griff, we went out for pizza. That was awesome. And Eloy, who called me over to his table to rip some packs. And Snoop, he was probably the most excited. He screamed my name and then came over, and I was like, huh? And he's like, Snoop. And I'm like, oh, Snoop. Because I think he said his real name first. I was like, huh? And then he's like, Snoop. And I'm like, oh, Snoop. And then I met a whole bunch of new people. And, there were a few people from the card community that, well, I'm just going to say, I don't want to name names, but we were coming back from lunch, and there was someone there outside that when we arrived, and basically I just got a, hi Troy, and that was it. Even at the YouTuber meetup, there were people that were in the main part, and then people that scurried away to a sub part to look at the more higher end cards, and that's okay. But most of the time at the YouTuber meetup, I was pretty much just by myself. Even someone offered to buy me a drink, and then they came back and gave it to someone else. Well, what are you going to do? But I really wish that our universes would be more accepting of each other, I guess. There are, like in every community, there are certain people that gravitate toward each other, and that's fine. But I think, TTMers, whether it's myself or, even Dustin Blake does a lot of TTMs, or Mike from the Autograph Network, or Caleb, or Henry, and, just a lot of these people that have been doing this a long time, and they might not have sports cards all the time, but they do have sports card content. And I wish, or sports content, even if it's not actual cards. And I just wish the communities could be more accepting of each other, I guess, and embrace our differences. I don't know. I'm getting into the I want world peace thing, I guess, but you know what I'm trying to say. I just wish that that TTMers were more accepted in the card community. I feel like the TTM community accepts the card community, but it sometimes doesn't go the opposite way, I guess. But that's just what I feel. So, yeah, this video has been going on a while. Hope you appreciate all the nominations. I appreciate all of you. Again, if your name wasn't on the list, it's not a slight. It could be that maybe you don't do sports cards for the majority of your content, and it could just be that these people that I nominated just stood out and in my head at the time that I wanted to do this. So that is the danger of doing one of these videos, that someone's feelings get hurt. But I hope you take this as me expressing my gratitude to everybody in the community, and trying to, since we can only have 10, trying to get some TTMers in that Hall of Fame. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you watching this video, and check out the links below for new channels, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.